Hi there. Thanks for taking the time to check out Posicovidity Stories, featuring individuals and organizations bringing solutions to the broader community during COVID-19 and beyond.
Hi everyone, I'm Laura Luan. Welcome to Posicovidity Stories and welcome to our guest, Kiran Bhamani, who's founder of Quarantine Coders. Kiran, nice to see you.
Good to see you too, Laura.
So Kiran, could you please tell us more about the project you've been working on? What is Quarantine Coders about?
Absolutely. What we do is we offer coding classes and they're all donation-based camps. So what that means is that kids can pay what they can or what they afford, and they take a class with us, and all proceeds are donated to COVID relief efforts. So we donate to 3 institutions so far, and those are Feeding America, the NYSYLC, and Donate PPE. So we sort of distribute our funds evenly among them. And it's a 100% volunteer-based organization. So we've got volunteers from all over the country. Most of them are coders who are professional, like leading professionals in their field, software developers. Some of them are computer science students. Others are not coders at all. They're just education specialists. We've got a 5th grade teacher on board. We've got professors who teach at coding boot camps. And so we're a pretty diverse group of individuals. All our curriculum is developed in-house. So it's a combination of coders and educational professionals who come together and develop curriculum that's age appropriate for these kids. And once that curriculum's developed, we sort of like reach out to volunteer teachers who would be willing to instruct those camps.
Apart from the curriculum, how do you make sure those volunteers are qualified of teaching the young kids?
Sure, that's actually a really great question. So we have so initially what we did was we reached out to education professionals that we knew of. So that was more on my part. I reached out to a really close friend of mine. Her name's Jasmine, and she teaches 5th grade science. So I knew she was qualified. She has her certification. And so she has been leading most of our classes up till now. So currently it's that. But in the future, we hope to have interviews and for teachers and instructors who we haven't known before, like strangers. And after that, they're just qualified to lead the course alongside a certified teacher.
What is the class model? I mean, are there like lectures, mainly lectures, or you give out the kids assignments? How do you do those classes?
Great question again. Classes are usually over Zoom. And the model is basically just like any other classroom. We have games, we have participation. It's definitely not lecture-based at all. Currently, we have 2 to 3 instructors in one classroom, just so the students have, maximum resources to ask questions and whatnot. So yeah, they're mostly like activity-based, conversation-based. And if you think about coding, it's not that easy to do. And it's even more difficult to explain to younger kids how to, some of the concepts of algorithm and bug and code. They're foreign words to these kids. So just like breaking them down piece by piece. So actually, let me give you an example. Might clear things up. So we wanted to explain what an algorithm was to the kids. So instead of giving them the formal definition of algorithm that I learned in college for the first time, we showed them TikTok videos. And so I don't know if you watch TikTok, but there's a lot of music videos which goes like for Tootsie Slide or the Cha-Cha Slide or the mop dance. So they basically give you instructions like left foot up, right foot slide, right foot up, left foot slide. And those are basically a set of steps to complete a task. And that's how we explained how like the list of steps are and what an algorithm is.
I'm very curious about one question. So why coding? So among all those courses and all those classes you can get, why do you choose coding?
Oh, why coding? Well, it's a long story. So I majored in computer science when I was in college. And one thing I learned from that experience was everyone around me in class, or most people around me in class, had already done this before. They had been coding since they were in 7th or 8th grade. And I realized that I do come from a different background. And since then, I've been trying to teach kids how to code. And this is long before Quarantine Coders. I have been involved with minority communities, especially in my community. So I'm an Ismaili Muslim, and I have been running coding camps since, I believe, 2018 or 2019 among younger girls in my community. So it's from grades 1 to 6. We would have robotics camp where we would like teach them how to program Lego robots. We had Android app development, stuff like that. So I was really passionate about it from the beginning. And when COVID hit, I wanted to start a fundraiser, but with a twist to it. So it's sort of like brought together my two passions of teaching people how to code, but also like doing something for the world during this stressful time. And for me, Quarantine Coders it's two birds with one stone, because, well, kids are getting access to classes at reduced prices that they wouldn't otherwise have gotten. These classes are usually priced at $400 to $500 online. So kids are getting reduced prices for really technical coding classes. And on the other hand, everything they're donating is going towards a good cause.
I remember you said, quote unquote, you're offering donation-based classes. So how does that mean? What do you mean by donation-based classes?
Okay, so donation-based classes means that when an interested parent or student tries to sign up on our website, if you go to our website, the price of that class is listed at $0. So you click on that class and you're registered, you're good. But then if you want, you make a donation. So basically pay what you think is fair, and that erases, for me, it erases some of the inequalities that we see in the world. So if you can afford it, pay the full amount of $150. And if you can't afford it, then pay $1. And and that's what I'm seeing in my database too. Like my students who sign up, they range from $1 to straight up $200. And that's what it is. It's pay what you can or pay what you think is fair. And again, like none of the money is going to us. 100% of those donations are going directly to the organizations that I listed out.
Kieran, so how's the feedback so far? What are the feedback are you having from both sides, both the volunteer side and the kids side?
So some feedback I've gotten from kids was that they had never been exposed to coding before, and this was their first experience, and they absolutely loved it. One of the kids said that he thought it was scary at first, but now he knows that anyone can do it, which is so amazing. Like, I really love that response. Another one talked about, so in our courses, we incorporate not only coding, but the social elements of coding and computer science. So diversity and equity within the field. And a couple of boys in my class told me that they had never heard of it or never even thought of it. And that was really powerful to me, because I thought that it's really great that we could have made that difference in that boy's life, where when they see discrimination, they'll be able to identify it from a very, very young age of 5th grade. So I thought that was super powerful. The feedback has been great, and from the student side. And as far as from the volunteer side, they said that their favorite part was meeting kids from all over the country, and growing with each other and like just working with each other as a team. So that was pretty positive, and it meant a lot to me.
We both know we have so many, online learning coding community right now. So where do you see Quarantine Coders differentiator from those communities?
One of the differences is that our classes are live and they're on Zoom. So we basically, it's not a pre-recorded session like you would see on YouTube or Khan Academy or Udemy. We actually interact with the kids. I think that's what sets us apart. And second is that all of our instructors are volunteers. What you're paying is going straight to charity. We develop our course curriculum from scratch. So we have a team of curriculum developers, like I said, that come from different backgrounds, 2 backgrounds mainly. So we've got the computer science / technical developers who work with our education team, and they come together to develop curriculum. So it's sort of like a really cool combination of how we're developing our syllabus.
One last question before I let you go here, Kieran. So, well, where do you think quarantine coders go in the long run? I mean, you have always been doing this kind of thing even before the coronavirus. So, even after the pandemic, where do you think it goes?
Ooh, that is a great question, which, to be honest, I don't know. In the short term, actually, where we do want to expand is Pakistan. So I've been in talks with some of my friends from Pakistan. My mom, I'm half Pakistani. It's my mother's home country, and we've had a couple people reach out saying that they would love to see quarantine coders in Pakistan. So we've been in talks with companies who would be willing to sponsor us, and hopefully we would be able to expand to that country as well.
Just one real quick follow-up question on that. So how do you see like quarantine coders can cover those kids that have interest in coding but don't have access to, maybe a computer or internet right now? How do you think quarantine coders can help on that?
That's a really good question. I think that would be something that we would develop on once the pandemic is over, because right now with remote learning on the rise, I think that internet connectivity is really essential, just to do anything. And with social distancing, it would be really difficult for us to host something physical. And for now, they would need to have some sort of internet connectivity. But something cool is that a lot of companies are trying to get internet services to areas which normally don't have it or can't afford it, which is really cool. So a potential would be partnering with one of those companies and seeing that if kids are interested.
Got it. Awesome. So, Kira, we thank you for being here today, and we thank you for your time, and we wish you all the best during the quarantine coders. All right, take care.
Thank you so much. You too, Laura. Really appreciate it.